check out the equipment before we start.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Again, another perfect start where all the equipment works.
We'll see. Maybe not.
I don't know. We got the mixer moving here.
Yeah, you banged into something.
I did. There we go. Hold on. I'm getting it now. We crossed the streams, Ben.
That's fine. I gotta reset all this up so that it works the way we need it to. I might move us out into the other room, move locations for a third time, and
that's all right. The evolution of this is I figured was going to take some time before we got to a place we were really comfortable with.
Yeah. So
we'll eventually have that comfortable setup. I mean, there's even that, but
you did it again, man.
I just lost it.
Oh man, I don't know what you're doing, but you keep.
I just leaned back.
I know, but if you would think that if you did it once and it knocked shit off the fucking table, that doing the exact same thing again would have the exact same result.
I'm like Bart Simpson.
You're like Fart Simpson.
Fart Simpson.
I don't even know what that means, but I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'm gonna. While you talk, I'm gonna.
I think we got it. No.
No.
Oh, you're gonna unravel that.
I don't trust you at all.
So we've got some technical issues we're working through. While Ben's working on that, so we're podcasting a little bit later than we usually do. I had a little bit of difficulty this morning getting to the flying field. And then I had to. One of my friends' kids' friends, their planes went aquatic, and that was a fun end of the day.
That's what you get hanging out with other people's children.
Yeah.
Other than weird looks.
And they're like, "Hey, let's swim out and get it." And I'm like, "Hey, don't jump in dark pond water in the middle of Boca Raton. You never know what might be underneath there, and I'm not jumping in to save you."
I don't know. Gators, other than the regular stuff that they should have common sense about, like gators and snakes.
I've come to realize that, like,
needles and whatever
people
else.
under the age of 25 don't have any common sense for the most part. Like, it's a rare, like, a superpower if they do. Like, for the most part, they just fucking do things.
But I think from now on that's the case. So I think in 5 years we'll be saying people under 30 have no common sense.
No. It's definitely one of those things where it's just like you're literally the person you hated 10 years ago. Oh shit! So I know we got a little bit of a cast today. I know we're reaching out to talk about a haircut.
Oh no! Let's just get right into it.
Oh, all right.
I'll call him and then we'll talk about our shit if we have shit to talk about, because this is some seedy, illicit,
back alley,
backdoor dealings kind of stuff, and I want all the gory details. So
it's going to be a lot of privilege thrown at us.
Oh, calm down. Don't get.
I can only imagine who this is.
Welcome. You've reached the Brizcliz hotline.
Brizcliz hotline.
I thought maybe you were going to do the movie phone gimmick.
Well, every week it'll be something else, but
it's whatever we remember doing.
So we're just gonna get right to the meat and potatoes of this. We heard rumors that you had an illegal haircut.
The rumors are true, gentlemen.
Yeah.
As much as this is incriminating, I indeed did get an illegal haircut. Not only did I get my haircut, but it was inside a salon in a county that is not open for business.
Blake, could you give me their address? I'm calling 911 right now, and I need to get this correct so I don't get.
Now, I did not know Karen Salvino was a part of the podcast.
Karen Salvino? Oh my God! I'm not a Karen. I'm not a Karen at all, sir.
I mean, if there's a Crime Stoppers reward, we're throwing you under the
bus. Oh, 100%. Listen, brother. We need that top ramen money.
One of us didn't get our stimulus check of the 3 year.
I mean, we got to be talking like Bobby Rogers at his finest, hot dog and handshake super show kind of payday.
Shit, brother. If it was Bobby Rogers at his finest, you wouldn't have a social security number anymore.
Touche.
So how does this work? How does one go about getting an illegal haircut? What's the back channel way of doing this?
Now, typically, I'm a 5-6 week guy. Around that range, then it's time to check in for a new one.
Right.
And obviously, in the line of work I'm in, it's more recommended to stay fresh, if you will.
Right.
So.
But are you just getting a haircut, or you do the whole face? Whole head.
I do to the hair, the beard gimmick.
So so you have someone,
works, if you will.
You have someone work your beard as well.
Yeah, the works, if you will.
Okay. I love how like first time listeners will listen to this and be like, the work he's in, keeping Manscaped. What's going on here?
Yeah, but just from the neck up.
For all of you new listeners here, because of the furlough files. But nonetheless, so we're here. The last time I saw her was sometime in like early mid-February, right around the time of Corona rumblings.
Right.
Like the whole process was beginning to stew at that point.
The trimmers.
And right, the rumors were swirling, and I had already gone, so I got my latest cut, and then. We're at a situation where, 6 weeks passed, didn't really matter because, I'm not really doing much. And obviously with no one else being able to go, it didn't really matter. So, time would pass, and we're approaching the 3-month mark here. And, it's getting a little out of hand for my liking.
Right.
And, hey, listen, the big 3-4 coming up in about a week or so. About 9 days until the big 3-4. So... trying to look as fresh as possible for the big day. And, I'm also privileged.
That's a good call because you don't want to get a haircut, like, on the date in case the haircut's not on point. You need a couple days or a week to kind of grow it out.
Right. It's got to shake itself out.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, we're in that range right now. And also, I'm privileged enough to, on May 30th, I have an event.
I'm sorry, but we're both looking at each other making faces when you said you're privileged.
I love it. Keep it up, Blake.
Yeah, right. Let me guess, Ben. White privilege?
Well,
listen, you got that white Boca Jew privilege, brother. You're like the top tier of privilege right there. I don't know if there's anyone above Blake.
I mean, if you say so.
Male white Jew Boca privilege, sir.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, we're all white males here, so,
never mind. Anything I say is going to get...
Yes. We're all poking at ourselves.
So
he just won't.
I am thankful enough to be able to have an announcing gig coming up on May 30th. I have an MMA fight, and, it's a no arena, in a gym kind of gimmick.
So they're streaming it or whatever, or on TV or something.
Yeah, going to be streamed on Flow Combat.
Oh, Flow Combat. All right.
Is that
the former Flow Slam?
Is that an app or a website or just a promotion?
No, I believe it's definitely a website. I think it's an app as well. Remember a couple of years ago, WWN used to be on Flow Combat, Flow Slam.
No, but I understand the concept.
Right, like that, like right after the network, when streaming services started becoming around a little bit more.
I remember the Fight Network.
Yeah, that's still around.
Fight app.
That's something else. The same idea.
Fight TV. Yeah, Fight TV is definitely still around.
Same idea.
But nonetheless, so I have a fight coming up. So obviously, I want to look, pretty well kept, at least for the fight. Right. So I text her a week or so ago, and I'm like, listen, are you doing any sort of underground cuts, or what do you got going on?
Well, I like that you have your what do you call it, a hairdresser, a barber, because so you have their home or cell phone personal number.
I have her cell phone, yes.
Okay, gotcha. I on the other hand get my haircut like once every 2 years, and it's whatever supercuts and whatever person working at the time.
Right,
so
Ben doesn't care.
This is a whole different scenario.
This is a whole different ballgame. Yeah. It's a friend of my dad's, so it's someone that I know a little more than just hey, that's the person I get my haircut. So I have her number, and I reached out and was asking about the underground cuts. And she tells me she's going to be back in the salon this coming Wednesday, which was 3 days ago, and, basically make an appointment. So I immediately start, in my head, I'm like, well, that's kind of weird because Palm Beach County, there's no such thing as anything right now.
Right.
We're not even in phase 1. We're in, the build to phase one. We're like the control center for phase one. So basically, I say, great. So I go and make an appointment for yesterday. And then I get a text from her earlier this week on Tuesday afternoon. And it says, when you come to the salon, park in the back. You'll see the sign on the door for the back door. Come in there. I was expecting her to say knock twice and then do some other thing.
Secret knock, yeah.
Yeah, some secret knock. And then basically I go in the back and she's saying I have to wear a mask. And now I'm sitting here doing the ultimate Costanza. Like throwing my hands up, like this is ridiculous. I don't even want to go anymore.
Because you and masks are not a thing.
Not a thing. So basically, yeah, it was one of these things where I'm stressing it the whole time. So go yesterday.
It feels very Prohibition era.
Right. And I go in the back. I see the back door. Now I'm expecting to do a secret knock. And it's funny. I'm wearing the mask. And I do one of those, look both ways deals. As if it's the speakeasy.
Right.
So I open the back door, and I'm expecting to see, someone almost surprised to see me. What are you doing here? So I see the one guy in the back. He's cutting away. Supposedly, he's been there since day one, never left because he's in the back of the store and you can't see him.
Right.
Then you got a few other people spread around, some in masks, some not.
Because everyone has their own station. It's like
the girl I go to rents the chair. She's not. It's not like a company.
Right.
So basically, it's this mix of people. Some giving a shit, some not, and. Then I go in there, and it's like I'm wearing the mask, and it's like such a Seinfeld. It's like mask etiquette. It's like, do you just take it off? Do you ask first? How does it work?
Right. How does it work?
So I'm sitting there. It's like I don't even know where to wait. It's like if I wait in the front of the store, am I invisible? Am I in view of someone walking by?
Right.
Am I going to out everyone by sitting in the front? So I end up sitting down. She's got a mask on. She's basically saying, this is ridiculous. And says, I can take mine off. So I immediately, obviously, take it off. And then basically, it went business as usual. But it was one of these things where apparently, right before I sat down, some woman came in. And it was when she was working on the guy before me. The woman was trying to, she was like a walk-in. And she was trying to make an appointment. And, or get a haircut that day. And they basically said, no, we're closed. And then the woman's looking at him cutting hair what do you mean you're closed? And then my girl's oh, this is my brother. So that's the kind of gimmicks we're pulling right now.
Nothing to see here, nothing to see here.
Right.
Should have just hung a sheet dividing the front of the store from everything going on in the back.
Right, and the crazy part too is what I didn't understand is the guy before me, he walks right out the front door when he leaves.
Oh.
And I'm like, did he just break protocol? Is he bringing the operation down?
This is a poorly run operation here.
But hey, she's back in business. I got my hair cut. I'm all excited.
If this was the right thing to do would have been only regulars, a pre-appointed. No.
Well, I feel like that's what it is. I think it was basically she's only taking people that have personally hit her up.
Well, but I'm saying in general for the establishment. I don't know why anyone's dealing with anyone walking into the.
Well, that's the thing. I think that was like someone slipped through the cracks. They're not supposed to be there.
Right. I don't know how the front door is even unlocked or.
Correct. No, that's a great point as well. I don't know why, if you're telling us to go through the back door, the front door is even a thing.
Right.
My girl, ironically, is the only one whose station is in the front. So it's you can kind of see if you looked.
Right. But just this really feels like Elliot Ness is about to bust in with his axes and asking where Capone's liquor is.
By the way, I'm on a nice long walk right now around Boca and Deerfield in like the beach area, and I'm looking at my app here, and I feel like Howard Brody looking at my distance.
Oh my goodness. Are you tracking your steps?
Yeah.
Like, buddy, you don't need to track your steps. You know.
I know. I'm more just curious to see how far I went.
So anything going on out there? Are there a lot of people out?
There's a lot of people out there. You know what? I've been doing this a lot during this whole Corona situation, as I call it. And because I'm not calling it the quarantine. It's the situation.
He really refuses to use the industry terms.
No. Not sinking to that level.
Oh no! I think we lost Blake.
Oh well.
Oh no! I think the Boca
Wait.
We picking him back up?
I hear him again.
Yeah, I'm here. No. AT&T was calling.
Oh.
That's like the third time today.
Well, Blake, you got to pay your bills.
Well, listen, they're allowed to be late, you know.
You just text them back Corona.
How Kramer is that? Like just evade bills for like 15 years, just Corona.
Corona. I'm a victim of the virus. What do you want?
Furloughed.
You don't even know what furloughed means. So anyway, basically, yeah, there's a lot of people. I'll tell you, as I was saying, I've been doing this pretty much every weekend that it's been weather appropriate throughout this entire situation. And today, for some reason, there feels like a buzz in the air. It almost feels like a holiday. Like it feels like something's going on.
That's the Corona seeping into your skin.
It could be.
That tingle you feel? That's poison.
Speaking of Corona seeping into my skin, did I bring up yesterday within the group that the lady protester at Publix is back again?
You did briefly.
You did. I automatically asked if she really disliked the Blueprint Wrestling shows.
Oh yeah, right. I did see that. That was funny. If it was only Mr. Meat himself.
I'm gonna throw that on TikTok, but I have to find the right section of her ranting about the manager letting people in without masks and whatever else.
You know, it was one of these things where it's like I walk out of the building and I hear this noise, and then I'm walking across the street to my building because I live literally right across the street from it.
Right.
And the video I sent you yesterday is from the parking garage of my building. So literally, as you can see, it's right there. And it's one of these things where I'm just in awe. I'm just shocked that this woman is going to this level to express her disgust and disdain for the practices at the Publix at the corner of Camino Real and Federal Highway.
I mean, she brought her own microphone setup.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, that was like baseline indie level.
Yeah.
Like she could have done a show.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, if she owned the speaker, she's already above most indies. They got to borrow that shit.
Right? No, but put it this way, like you could hear it was succinct. You know, it wasn't like typical like indie crap.
Well,
you know?
she had her points and she made them eloquently. She not a lot of ums, not a lot of circular talking. She did a very good job.
If you were actually listening to what she was saying, like she was burying them pretty well.
Yeah.
Listen, she has a lot of conviction, okay, and she knows what she needs.
But she's a good promo.
She's prepared.
But she's a good promo guy.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, this is someone who was on the front lines of Publix and like experienced firsthand.
I really feel as if maybe we should have went up, set up our equipment, just joined in.
See, what I want to know is, and if I see her again, I might go question her. Now, I'll tell you what, Chadwick calls anything, that could be an interview right there.
I mean, because
you should interview her.
Because honestly, I'll scream at the sky for an hour. And
I have a feeling she's going to be back. I have a feeling she's going to be back.
You should offer to intro her.
Yeah.
Right, but here's the thing. So in my mind, I'm thinking this woman probably quit. Like, based on the rhetoric that we're hearing, it sounds like she probably threw down the apron and walked.
Okay.
She took a line in the sand. She took a stand, man. What's wrong with that?
I'm saying I don't think she got fired. I don't think it was anything like that. I think she quit.
Yeah.
Just based on the way she's talking.
A principled move.
Yeah. I respect that.
It sounds like she's like, this is garbage. We shouldn't be here, blah, 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 blah.
Like that dude with Amazon who walked out of Amazon and started the whole shit.
Right. And as someone who's a regular there, You know, I interact with a lot of these cashiers on a pretty regular basis, a few times a week.
Getting them digits.
And I'll tell you, there's one or two I probably would.
AT&T.
So basically, it's a situation where, you know, I've noticed that a lot of the cashiers have gotten a little edgier. You know, like they almost seem pretty fed up with things.
Oh, edgier. I thought they had gray beards and just.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think I know my demeanor changes after having to wear one of those masks for like 3 or 4 minutes.
It goes into complete disgust mode.
Fucking Blake's ready to kick babies after a minute and a half.
Like put it this way, one of my very favorite establishments here down in downtown Boca, the same place I saw Punishment Martinez, Damian Priest, and Matt Riddle recently.
Name
I'm just using it as a reference point. They just reopened for business, which is a very exciting thing. But I'm looking in there, and it's like mask required. And in my mind, I'm like, if I already paid for it, it's already taken care of. I'm just going to literally grab something and walk away. I don't even have to necessarily open my mouth. But I have to wear a mask? It's like with the gloves at Mojo. Marco, I've told 3 or 4 different people about that since you've told us. But really? I still can't get over it. Because basically what I've done is I've laid out the scenario for all these other people. And I'm like, okay, in your mind, what are the gloves for? And no one can give me an answer. No one can figure out what the gloves are for.
It's for the smooth caresses at checkout, where you have to caress them for giving you donuts.
I mean, they have one of those iPad deals.
Yeah.
When it comes to one of those, I'm a knuckle guy. I tap it with the knuckle.
I'm a knuckle guy. I hadn't heard that one before. That's good. That's good. Yeah, that makes sense. People do. They'll sit there with.
Listen, that's gonna be the headline for my dating profile.
I'm a knuckle guy.
I'm a knuckle guy.
If I don't get 3 knuckles deep, we don't have a reason to talk.
I didn't say that. I'm a knuckle guy. Let your mind create its own scenario with it.
So speaking of Tinder.
Yeah, okay, sure.
I had the most absurd experience of my life last night.
Which is impressive because you have some pretty absurd experiences.
Now, this is like one of those that even for me, like, holy cow. So, basically, I go to meet up with a friend who is a little larger. Let's also say they're, I don't know, of a different descent, shall we say?
Okay, you're painting. Okay, so you're an ethnically inclined fat person.
Yes.
Okay.
And let's also say in that same realm, this person happens to be very ghetto.
Okay.
Now we're not talking like, you know, I'm trying to think of like
Blake,
someone we know.
I'm hovering on the 7-second delay. Yeah. I'm hovering on the 7-second delay.
Ben, I'm doing my best. It's one of those things where, you know, it's basically a fat, ghetto, ethnic person.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! I want to just scream it out, but I know it's like that's inappropriate, Marco.
Okay, so
a part of me is fucking with Marco here just to try to bait him into saying it.
You're working because it's hard right now. Like my blood pressure's like just say it. And I'm like no, I'm not gonna fall for it, Blake. I'm not gonna fall for your charm. Just get on with the story.
So basically, I meet up with said person. We're hanging out for a little bit, blah, 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 blah. Yada, yada, if you will.
Mm.
And then it gets to, you know, the point of the purpose of me being there. Complete the task. It's late. So we're like laying down, whatever.
Marco's looking at me confused. You fucked her, and now... Okay.
And gentlemen, I don't think in my entire life I have ever heard someone snore as loud and as sustained as I heard last night.
Oh, do we have some stories for you?
I'm talking Jackie on the gas.
Jackie on the gas!
I'm talking like sustained, lengthy, deep cuts, right? Like real, just like deep pulls, and like she's on her side, I'm moving her to her back. She's on her back, I'm moving her to her side. I'm moving her to the other side. I'm trying to do anything I can to get something jarred loose there, whatever's got to be going on. Because another part of me is like, holy shit, am I about to call 911?
Well, wait a minute.
So,
where are you?
At her place.
Oh, at her place. Just leave, man.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Well, guys.
Well, first of all, check and see if she's got like 20 or 40 bucks in her purse. And if she does, take that.
No, but wait a second. Listen. You got to remember the beginning part of the story.
You're in the ghetto, aren't you?
Ghetto. So, I'm not robbing someone who's ghetto.
Oh.
He ain't robbing the streets, buddy. He ain't robbing the streets.
Listen. There could be hidden Glocks and stuff.
What, in the folds in her skin? I don't know what we're talking about here.
or like, you know, in the floorboards or whatever the hell she's got going on.
We'll just stay for Blake's safety. For Blake's safety, he was trying to get through. But I imagine this like an episode of Curb where like she's snoring and you're just sitting there, just like Larry David. You're just staring at her, just like, what are you even doing? What are you even doing?
No, so here's the thing. So the whole time I'm trying to pass out, and then I start freaking out. I'm like, this is absurd. I can't sleep. Like, there's nothing I can do. I can't close my eyes for more than 10 seconds without just hearing this deep cut in my ear. And it's like, literally, I got nothing to do.
Would it have been one of those situations where if you had fallen asleep first, she might not have woken you up with it, or was it that bad that there was no escaping this?
Put it this way. I was so disoriented that I didn't think to, but I should have grabbed my phone. Then you would have thought it was a fart chat.
Dude, I wish you had recorded it. I know.
I fucked up.
I mean,
but here's the thing. So it's 3 a.m., and in my mind, I'm like, okay, if I can get like 5 straight minutes of silence or close, I can maybe pass out and get through the noise. Like I can maybe push through.
Right.
So at least like 6 or 6:30, and then I can roll out when the sun comes up, and then just, you know, whatever. So basically it's 3 a.m., and this, I mean, for all intents and purposes, cow just won't stop. She won't stop mooing.
I love how you just went hogging one night. You're just like, fuck it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Blake's got to exercise all his muscles.
Yeah, you know, I have boxes I need to check, and I check the box. So,
listen, big girls suck the best dick. Everyone knows that.
Well, Anthony knows that.
So basically, I gotta go. This is too much. I can't sleep. There's no way I can handle this anymore. I have to leave. And basically, yeah, then I got my stuff on, put my shoes on, and got away.
There was like no waking her? Like you tried to nudge her to like...
Oh, like, I mean, put it this way. There's a couple of times I got like stiff with her.
Right.
I'm talking like little like Shinsuke kicks.
Right.
Like in the middle, like in the bed, just like lighten her up with like fucking kicks, and nothing's working.
Wow.
I mean, to the point where I'm like pushing her. It's like I'm trying to get the ref to wake up after he's knocked out and push him over to make the cover.
Right.
Like I'm like pushing her. I'm like shaking her. I'm pushing her. Like, it ain't working. Like, it might work for 2 or 3 seconds, and then we turn the fucking saw right back on.
So, I guess I'll ask the only question worth asking, Blake, is she still on the list?
I mean, put it this way. She was signed to a provisional 10-day contract. The front office is currently in discussion of whether to renew or not. if there is any sort of renewal, there are now major provisions in the contract.
Sounds like she's already got heat in the back, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, there's major heat. I mean, put it this way. Thankfully, she's nice. I mean, I mean, it wasn't like she was so ghetto I felt like scared or something. But like, I mean, she was nice. Like it was, she's not like she put it this way. I was the baby face this morning when she texted me when she woke up. Like assuming that I hate her.
She's still in the rotation.
You
totally. Still in the rotation.
I mean, what would have been the But here's the thing.
She's a rainy day spot.
Okay,
all right. This is
great class. Like, what would have been the harm though of just honestly saying, "Listen, I just couldn't go to sleep. You were snoring too much."
I mean, she knows why.
Oh, you told her?
Oh no, I said I can't do this anymore. I was like, I can't handle this. I can't sleep.
Okay.
Like she knew. I mean, like you have to know.
Well, I would assume that she's dealt with this before.
So there came a point in the night where Blake looked at that pillow and went, "Well,
I'm pretty sure when I arrived, she was already like, I mean, she was clutching a handle of Tito's like Jackie had a can of Bud Light.
Oof. Handprints, fingerprints.
Okay, so this, I'm just trying to understand because I've never used Tinder before. Is it always just a hookup thing, or is this sometimes like a go out and date thing?
No, it's definitely a go out and date thing. Also, as well as Bumble, I use both of those apps, or at least now. I didn't use them for a long time. I took a nice period of time off in between having a girlfriend and trying to take a break from the apps. But the old coronavirus brought it back. I was dating a girl. And then she basically turned heel on me and wouldn't see me anymore because of the coronavirus. So I was like, okay, you're gonna see me all the time, and then like after a month plus of this nonsense, you're not gonna see me anymore. So I don't really think it was fully about that. I think it's about other stuff, and she's just too young to say it.
Yeah, she just used that as the reason.
Right.
Yeah.
So then I hopped back on the gimmick, and I'll tell you what. I mean, I'm not trying to Horowitz myself here, but probably because of like who I am, I'm able to pull off the fact that like I've had entirely too many new people come by for like without having to put in any work whatsoever.
Blake, you better get some cream for that tennis elbow you're giving yourself there.
Listen, I'm just trying to paint a picture for the listeners and you guys.
Blake's a big deal, everybody. Blake's a big deal.
No, I'm not about a big deal. However, I clearly am able to. I guess I'm able to do enough to be able to have people come over without having to put in any work whatsoever.
Right.
That's a good skill to have.
Like I've met a good amount of people in this entire period of time and have not had to go on any dates.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, that's
I mean, I'm literally living the dream right now.
Right.
I have benefited greatly from the coronavirus.
The Tinder dream, not the dream.
Yeah.
Correct. Now, I will say this. It's one of those things where it really, like, it's a deep cover that all these women are, like, trying to be, like, good girls and stuff because they all come over and basically fuck me because they want dick that bad during a period where they're not allowed to have it.
It's not a bad gimmick at all, man.
Yeah.
So it's like, if anything, it exposes the female's cover of, hey, you're just as bad as we are.
Yeah.
Oh, they're worse.
Right? And some of the ones that have come by are ones that, like, I mean, I've had, like, your CNN, like, far left, Adam Hustler, mask-wearing kind of people, like, legit, like, come by. Like, people that you, like, people who are, like, literally, like, I'm going to risk my grandma's life for you.
Shout out to Huss.
C+.
This
is so inside baseball. All these.
What's crazy
all
to
these
me,
references.
it's like it's funny. Like I never use any of it, so I don't even know how Tinder works. I don't know how Bumble works. I don't know any of this shit.
Well,
it's not like a mystery on how it works.
But like I
don't think you guys have ever heard the story of how I was introduced to Tinder, and that is exactly why I love it so much.
Oh, I'm dying to hear this.
So we're actually approaching the 7-year anniversary. It was in May of 2013. Tinder had just come out.
Hold on. I respect entirely that you know the month and the year. Like, well, I'm surprised you don't have the day just off the tip. You know?
Do we forget who we're talking to here?
No, but I mean, it's not that I forgot who I'm talking to. But it still is always a nice surprise when this happens.
Well, of course. Well, we're setting the table nicely, and that's what we like to do here at the Breakfast Club.
Yes,
we like to set the table for the breakfast.
That's fantastic.
So basically, it's May of 2013.
Such a professional. I love it.
We don't have Tinder down here yet. It's not a thing in South Florida at this point.
It's just regional, like it's
well, like it hadn't really caught on here. Like I hadn't even heard of it. Okay. Like, I've never even heard of it.
I thought it was like Uber, where it was only available in some states. And
no, it was like the coronavirus. It was only available in certain parts yet. It hadn't.
Well, hold on. That probably was the case because some of these places that there was no buzz. I mean, there's no people on it.
Yeah,
that's true.
You know, so one of my good friends that I grew up with, he lives in New York, and he was up there, and he's like, I'm coming down, and I'm bringing this girl that I met. So when he comes down, he's with this girl. Now, this girl's like this super hot blonde girl. Like, she's from New Zealand. Like, she's got the accent. Like, she's got this, like, smoking little body. She's great. And he's like, yeah, I met her off this thing, Tinder. So he basically, you know, puts over Tinder, tells me what it's like, whatever.
Right.
So, you know, I end up hanging out with them for, you know, a few days throughout the time they're here. And I'm at his house one day. It's his dad's house who lives here. And it's the three of us. And at one point, he goes in the kitchen to, like, get something, and then the girl starts making out with me. Out of nowhere. Like, it's literally an RKO out of nowhere.
Like, how does he go from going into the kitchen to get a drink or take a piss or whatever to her making out with you? How close are you to begin with?
Like,
or does she jump across the room like a fucking flying squirrel or something?
I mean, we're just kind of sitting there, like, talking, and he had, like, gotten up, and then she just, like, kind of, like, comes over and then, like, starts, like, she's like I had no indication this was going to happen.
Okay.
So she's, like, making out with me, and she's like, I want to fuck you. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I don't know how that's going to work, but whatever you say. Because I would love to.
Yes, please.
So basically, like, I don't know. She like my buddy like figured out that she was into me, and he was trying to push the threesome, but she didn't want to fuck him. She just wanted to fuck me. So it was like obviously.
Had she fucked him?
I'm pretty sure. Like, I mean, this was like, I want to say Saturday night of like them leaving Sunday. So they had already been there like a week.
Because I'm wondering if either he's pushing for the threesome to continue fucking her or to finally fuck her. Like, had she been stringing him along and he's like, well, if Blake has to be involved for me to get in this.
No, then I feel like he had at least already done stuff with her at the very least.
All right.
No tower spot.
No tower spot. Like Huss and that other girl that he keeps talking about. So, basically, you know, it ends up being a situation where she won't do both of us, obviously. But she ends up so she's staying in his bed. I'm in the other room. She comes in my room in the middle of the night and fucks me.
Okay.
So I'm like, this thing that I've never heard of. I meet this hot girl from New Zealand that I would never have met before, who's living in New York, from my buddy. So I'm like, this app is fantastic.
You got laid off of Tinder without using Tinder.
Without using Tinder.
There you go.
So when Tinder came to town, I want to say it was in like late summer, early fall of 13, like August, September. I want to say that's when things started heating up down here.
When Tinder came to town is like the alternate Johnny Cash
song. I mean, maybe it happened in the summer. I don't have a full recollection at this point. But yeah, so then like basically that's when things started heating up. And I mean, it's long been a hookup app. I mean, that's been like the origin of it. But I mean, you could definitely meet people to date on there. But I mean, I don't take it seriously. But I'll give you an example.
Ideally,
Okay,
I think you and I would probably view it the same way, that we hope it's a hookup app, and if something else came of it, After
one bajillion percent.
Okay, yeah, because why put any work in until you know whether that's any good?
Correct.
Right. Okay.
Correct. So I'm definitely with you there. But I'll give you an example. So I matched with this girl the other day, like really good looking, like she's got a good conversation, like seems like she's got her shit together, like seems like very adult, etc. We're talking, whatever.
Is she Caucasian, or you gonna have to dance around the subject again?
Hey, you want to hear how Seinfeld this is?
Yes.
I can't tell.
Okay.
I'll send you the picture, but I can't tell. There's something, there's definitely something going on, but it's not definitive.
Well, like Ariana Grande, where she's really white, but she's been professionally blackface for like 10 years now.
Well, it's like Dion Rifkin, the guy with Elaine. Like the guy where it's like, you know, he looks black, but he's like, then he thought she was Spanish.
Yeah.
You know. So basically, this girl, you know, good-looking girl, whatever. So she randomly asked me, like, had I been married before? And I'm like, you know, no. And then she's like, oh, yeah, I was married for 8 years. And I'm like, oh, there's the first shoe to drop.
The red flags are just falling from the sky now.
You should have said, no, I've never been married, but I've married people.
I like that, Ben. That's good. Yeah. I'm gonna use that in the future. I got to put that.
So what's the next red flag?
Then she says something about, oh yeah, I have 2 kids, like 6 and 4.
Yep.
And I'm like, first of all, why wouldn't you put that in the goddamn gimmick?
Well, you know why.
You know why.
Right, but like if I'm gonna meet you, I'm gonna figure that out quick.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. So then I go back to the deal to take a look at her again, and she puts the kids in there that time. It's like she updated the app. I'm like, really? That was not there before?
You got bait and switched.
Yeah, you did.
I got bait and switched 100%.
Wow.
But so, how did that one turn out, though? I mean,
we're supposed to meet tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Are the kids coming?
That's funny.
That's an AJ Bumble.
It is an AJ Bumble.
One time I did. There's this girl I met on Tinder, like very attractive. But obviously there's a catch, and that's the fact that she had a kid. So I was at her house. We were fucking. And the kid opens the door of the bedroom and comes in while I'm hitting it.
Did he?
So I immediately freeze.
That's fantastic.
And you know, then the mom like handles it, and then the mom like puts me over for not like freaking out.
Apparently, this has happened before.
Right. That's my first thought. I was like, okay, obviously this has happened before.
Right.
I wonder if AJ's ever had like a first date with a Bumble or Tinder chick at like Chuck E. Cheese.
He did.
It wasn't Chuck E. Cheese, but it was.
No, I was gonna say he did have a date where the woman brought the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember. I remember that.
I don't remember if that was like a Dave and Buster's type thing or something a little more basic.
But just like he's the one of us that would have that first date at like a Chuck E. Cheese kind of thing because he doesn't give a fuck.
Well, I think he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I think he showed up in sweatpants and hadn't showered for that one. And you think I'm joking?
No,
but I'm not.
It's fantastic.
No, not you. The people the 12 listeners.
But if they've listened to the Furlough Files, they know he doesn't give a fuck.
And yet he still gets.
He's a Bigfoot with a social security number. I love the guy. It's awesome. But yeah, Blake. So yeah, every time it's like it's got to be all over the place where all those bitches are hiding it. Because if you're in your 30s and you're on Tinder and you're single and you're a woman, chances are you've got at least two ill-gotten kids.
There's got to be something going on.
Always
ill-gotten.
I don't know.
It's funny. It seems like it's like the only ones that I'm like. It seems like the only ones where I'm like, oh, they're probably halfway normal, are the ones I end up knowing.
It's true, man, because most of those bitches got like fucking some weird baby that fucking the baby daddy's a crazy psychopath or some shit. There's always a story. Always.
Here we go.
All right, now I'm stopping now before
I have the bleep Marco moment of the podcast.
Catches up
hey, why don't we just start calling him 7-second Salvino?
7 seconds. You know what? That's about right. That's about right. You got to, and it gets to the point where when I start to get like really animated, I go, wait a minute, before you say anything, think of your words. They have impact.
So how often do you see somebody on Tinder that you already know in real life?
A pretty good amount. That's actually that's something I'm a mark for. Now, as somebody who's essentially the mayor of my apartment building,
right?
It's really fun to catch those. I mean, I told you guys about my neighbor.
How is there an update on that you can divulge, or should we talk?
So she's like kind of flaky. So we were supposed to hang out a few different times, and literally she just like didn't hang out. But but it's like
she's on the other side of the wall, buddy.
Right, but here's the thing. So now I'm in a position.
That's where you need the secret knock.
When I'm getting these girls shuffling in and out, I now have to look both ways and across the street.
Oh my goodness, he's playing a dangerous game.
Yeah, they'll never.
I mean, it's not. It would take a lot probably for that to happen, but we'll see.
Well, I mean, you got bitches from across the ocean coming at you, man. So although
right.
I just want to get back to that one story. It's funny. It's like, well, she won't fuck both of you, but she'll fuck basically what amounts to a complete stranger in a weird state that she's just traveling with some other dude, but for some reason she's not whore enough to have two dudes fuck her. That's just bad business. It's bad business. And let's be honest, if your boy was a worker, you guys would have had that.
I think we will.
Unless Blake turned into a dial tone. Maybe AT&T took him, finally grabbed him off the street.
I don't know if he's still on with us.
Oh, no. Oh, no. We lost Blake. Maybe.
Oh, no, I hit mute.
Oh. You hit mute?
Oh. You got 7 seconds.
Yeah, I got 7 seconds. 7 seconded. What the fuck? Oh shit!
That's like instead of 3-minute warning, we got 7.
So what's the difference? What's the difference between that and Bumble?
So I prefer Bumble because Bumble, they have to message you first.
Right.
So it's like there's a little bit more of a vetting process. Like you kind of get a feel a little bit more when like someone's interested.
I mean, you get a really good idea if someone's interested.
But sometimes you'll get like a hi or a hey, and it's literally just to keep the match going.
Okay.
Because they have like I think 24 hours to match or to talk to you after you match.
Oh, so they'll just say like hey, just to keep it going, so they can figure out what they really want to do.
Probably, or just because they're like vain or something.
Or to see if choices 1 through 4.
Yeah.
Since you were 5, whether they get in touch with them.
Now Ben's starting to get it.
Yeah.
All right. See, I never got into any of this, so it's all new.
Because you'll go through and you'll match a bunch,
yeah.
but they're not all your top guys.
True story, Marco. A few years back, I was doing what they call a serial swipe.
I've seen Beast do that. Where he just closes his eyes and keeps swiping.
Basically, like it's like the proverbial like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Right.
Oh man, but what if you end up with an narwhal?
Which is the definition of Anthony Dominguez.
Yes.
But Marco, I swiped and matched with your ex-girlfriend.
Which one?
The one who you were dating when we first met.
Must be Max.
Was it Max?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Oh my God. Blake, tell me. Tell me you immediately said nope and just moved on.
I don't remember because here's the thing, another gimmick I have. So
this could get interesting.
No. Like I used to actually put stock into stuff and start conversations. I used to start conversations and try to get stuff going. But a lot of times these girls don't take it seriously and it's like I'm wasting my own time. So generally what I do now is I swipe on girls that I'm interested in.
It's funny because you just sounded like the girl.
Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, that's how it is. Okay. So, Ben, 2020. So, so basically what I do is I let the girl, I swipe on the ones I'm interested in, and then I let them message me. And occasionally, there'll be a girl who's so smoking hot that I just want to shoot my shot.
Right.
But otherwise, I let them message me.
Did my ex-girlfriend and you fuck? No, I'm joking.
But what I was getting at is I don't think she ever messaged me, so I don't think we ever even had communication.
I mean, I just think it would be funny to find out.
Or there might have been a chance she did message me and didn't realize who I was, which is odd because I feel like she'd be able to tell by my pictures. But
it would have been so fantastic.
I really wish that this was like a 23andMe where you two found out you were Eskimo brothers.
It would be fantastic. It would be fantastic.
I was having this conversation the other night with a couple of my buddies. Like, I've had sex or mutual sex with so many different names and like guys on TV and stuff.
You're one degree of so and so.
I mean, even just throw Kid Cadet in the mix.
Oh my God!
Can we not?
Are we naming names right now?
Can we just put that gargoyle back in the fucking box and not talk?
But I'm just saying, like, if we just wanted to like just throw one out there.
Well, I mean, yeah, no, that's right, because there's not a whole lot of the Florida boys she hasn't. So,
well, not even just that, but it's like just look at it like, oh, Adolf Ziggler, you know.
Oh, that's right. Remember, Blake? I don't know if you remember. Shit, I don't. Ben, you weren't there with SoCal Val and the
don't get me started on her.
All right, 10-4. Just as long as we're on the same page.
Because I really wanted to do that, and fucking Chase Stevens fucked it up.
Oh,
what, brother? Listen, we got our boy taken care of. You should have let me know. It would have been you.
What, Paul Altician?
Well, listen, man. I don't need the heat.
Here's what happened. We're in the hotel room after the Ring Warriors taping. We've been partying all night. We were like, went to all these different bars in Miami and stuff. And it's like, I stayed up to like 7:30 in the morning. But it's like late night. I'm sitting there like totally like zeroing in on Val. And this is after she's messaging with Alistair Black all night via text message. But I'm sitting there like almost getting ready to do the deal. And Chase Stevens has to bring up her ex-boyfriend who is Wildcat Chris Harris. And then Val proceeds to start just crying. She just like bursts into tears and like completely loses it. And Chase keeps just like antagonizing her. And then I have like Katarina Wild trying to like distract me with the blunt.
Oh, that she-beast. Ugh.
And it was like, I remember like sleeping on the edge of the bed at like 7:30 in the morning.
Oh my goodness.
There's so many. We're gonna have to go to that SoCal Val pin show story some other time.
Oh yeah.
But that's a good story.
Now, see, I wasn't there, so I only know secondhand.
That bitch.
But I did go down to the pin thing for a little while and hung out and like helped. And I'm gonna use air quotes here and say security.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Ben asked me to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, I had something to do that evening, so I did not.
Yeah. Hey, that was a paying gig.
Not for me.
No, what happened?
Ben, I love you, but you never paid me.
Well, you had to say, maybe because you'd split out. I don't know.
No, I think you asked me to like help.
I don't remember any of that pin show.
I don't think there was money ever in the mix for me.
I just remember.
I think there was through Broder, but
no. See, this is before. This is before I did stuff, so like you could like take advantage of me at this point.
Would not have been my intent.
I know. I'm just messing around.
Yeah. The late or actually early morning Al text, for the love of God, where's the hotel room? I need to get away from this bitch. Only to know that he. Never mind. You know what? I don't want to like spread around accusations.
So basically, are you really trying to say Al doesn't just live the Patrick Bateman gimmick? He is the Patrick Bateman gimmick.
I don't know if I want to like get into this. I feel
all of a sudden Marco cares.
I don't care, but I feel as if my heat with this whole situation has like. All right, I'll say this. Something about that man isn't right. Something about that doesn't all add up. Something about that seems a little rapey, but that's just my opinion from what I've seen.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to have to.
And from what I saw that night,
I don't want to delete this whole podcast. So
especially when
I've dropped a lot of serious nuggets.
Yeah, you have. Especially when I showed up and we finally saw him, and he had her like damn near lifeless body cradled in his arms. And he's just sitting there in the front of the Mac Center, all alone on a chair, like not knowing what to do. And we're all like, "What happened?" And like, you never really quite got
what happened to her.
Oh, no, I know what happened to her. I saw her pop enough somas to drop a fucking male bull elephant.
Yeah. And she was drank like a bottle and a half of wine with it.
At first, Broder was like, "You want to fuck her?" And I'm like, Nah. I don't find SoCal Val attractive.
Did he say that to you?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I don't find her attractive because I know how much dick has been in her, and I'm just like, that's not attractive to me at all.
Okay.
What's wrong with Seamus, Marco?
Oh my God, my Seamus! Like, shut the fuck up, you stupid, useless whore.
What are we devolved into?
I don't know.
The funny thing is, Blake hasn't hung up yelling, "Wrong number."
I'm here.
Listen, man, I'm not in that business anymore. I don't give a fuck who I bury, but at the same time,
I just didn't know we were ready to do all this.
Listen, you're never ready. It just happens. Man.
Okay, fair enough.
It just happens. You gotta bring your rubber just in case.
Okay.
But I don't want to like just sit there and bury rats because like everyone knows that they're whores. It is what it is. I just particularly wasn't a fan of SoCal Val. I found her annoying, and the entire night I was like, would somebody shut her the fuck up? Shove a dick in her, shove her off a bridge, whatever you gotta do. I just don't want to hear her anymore.
And
then
see, that's the thing. Like, I've always gotten along with her. We've
she's
worked
super
together
cool.
Well, like.
She's super cool. There's just no attraction there at all.
And she like flirts with me, so like I got a thing, you know.
Yeah, no, listen, brother, you do you. I understand. There's lots of times where things happen and people are like they're very proud of their conquest, and I'm like, that's good for you, man. And nothing for me though. I don't feel shit.
I'll end the SoCal Val conversation for today by just saying that I ran into her a couple of years after that. At the Wale Mania gimmick, she had her new
the deal when we were there. Oh, she was with Alan.
She had is that the British guy?
Yeah, the husband. Yeah.
Yeah. She had moved on from bullshit, and I guess she was. She was married to a nice guy at that point.
Good for her.
She married like a real person.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do. You can't. Because anytime you try to remain in a long-term anything within the business, you're just putting the expiration date's already there.
Yeah, you immediately put a target on it.
Yeah, so you're better off finding some random dude or chick or whatever walking down the street and just go them. You got a better chance there, buddy. Oh fuck! All right, let's stop slut shaming people. That's wrong. And this is today's society. We have to be openly accepting of everybody and their quirks,
including the sluts. I mean, we were on Tinder Talk. How are we not supposed to?
You know, it's just, I feel like I missed all that Tinder and the Bumble and all that stuff. I never got into it. And then I met Natalia before.
Now you know what I do see a lot on Tinder these days, not on Bumble but on Tinder. These like young girls who think they're hot putting up like fans only pages.
Oh, fucking OnlyFans.
Well,
or OnlyFans, whatever.
Yeah, they
Because like this one girl, she was like, "What do you do?" And I was like, "Blah blah blah." And I was like, "What do you do?" And she's like, "OnlyFans." And I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yep.
Like, that's your job? Like, what do you do on that?
Well,
whatever they pay me to do.
Here's what I think happens: is that some of those girls are escorts, and because you can't. There's like they did these sweeping like reforms in the government and shut down.
Oh, you have to word things?
No, they shut down like the Craigslist personals and all this other shit that you can't just go online and advertise if you're an escort or a hooker or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You have other dating apps are one way to do it, I think.
I see that because you see a lot of profiles like advertising that, and it's kind of weird. But
yeah. Huh. So that's probably a lot of the tie-in with that OnlyFans shit. I see a lot of the cosplayers doing it now too. Like the line has dissolved between like I won't do nude photography anymore, and
you almost have
they all do it now.
Yeah.
To make money.
Like if you don't do it, no one gives a shit.
Right.
Doesn't matter how
or they just want to earn real money.
Yeah.
They're tired of nickel and diming selling cosplay photos where their tits are covered, I guess. I don't know. When someone will pay $200 for 3 photos of your feet with your tits in the background, you know?
Do you want to see Diva finger blast herself with a ketchup bottle? Come to my OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Well, it's like what's her name? The Velma.
Right.
Oh, buddy.
Marco's
Let's not
eyes.
open this can of worms.
Marco's eyes just got wide.
I may or may not have been baiting you there.
Let's leave that one alone.
Were you one of the ones that landed in that
I was thrown some bait, and I never bit before I had the opportunity.
Okay. 'Cause some of the other boys have.
I definitely had the chance.
I have to plead the fifth on all of this.
Yeah.
Marco, we already know.
It's okay. It's not like it happened at a time.
No, it's just one of those.
You were single, so whatever.
It just but oh my god, like I can't tell those stories because I'll just listen. I'll just get judged, and not by anybody. Any of you boys. My wife might hear this and then go, "Well, I didn't know about that."
Is your mother-in-law going to listen to this?
She might.
Jesus!
And listen, man, things happened, but it was before the time of so.
Right.
So, but I don't need to give my wife any free ammunition. Right. I'd rather just go.
You're born again, pal.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I'm a good boy.
He was dipped in the lake of reincarnation.
I was, and my deep, dark, seedy past is just that. But we don't have to dig any of that up.
He faded away and classified himself as obsolete.
I don't need to sleep on a couch tonight. We're good.
That's true. Blake, I told Marco, I said, while no one's listening, it's fine to keep those stories to yourself. But once it pays to tell those stories, you're going to tell those stories.
Only after I've acquired the services of a divorce lawyer, just in case.
Right.
Allegedly. Oh my goodness.
So I guess.
All right. So Blake, you've walked about 4 miles since we've been talking. You must be got your steps done by now.
I'm at 5.6 right now.
5.6 miles or 5.6 steps?
5.6 miles.
Oh, okay. You walking on like the beach or just like in the middle of Boca?
Just like on A1A.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, we hear the cars
and different main roads.
But also we hear the birds. I like the sounds of nature. Sometimes we get.
What the fuck? You don't care about nature.
The tweeting birds have been nice. And
fucking been in nature. Stop.
That's what they call natural sounds, pal.
Yeah, I know.
The birds aren't even real, okay? Have you talked to have you listened to Alex Jones?
No.
All right, the frogs are gay and birds are fake. Stop it. Holy shit. Okay, well, that's fantastic.
So
we'll get some legal paperwork for at least half of this.
Yeah.
Blake's gonna have to watch out in locker rooms now.
When was the last big donut blowout for you, Blake?
Last donut blowout. It was right in the thick of the Corona madness. I went for the Krispy Kremes and they had nothing there, and then I went to Dandy and I had to wait in a line to enter the store. It was a big to-do.
If you go to Moho and you wear Hulk hands, you'll be all right.
Listen, if I go there and they deny me service because I'm not putting on gloves.
Go find some of the most distracting contractor gloves you can find and walk into stores with.
I should go get the Sting mechanics gloves.
Yeah.
You should. 100%. Go get one of those.
So basically,
go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll say my birthday is actually a week from Tuesday.
Okay. So where should girls send? Do you have Amazon list or something?
Yeah, wish list.
A wish list? No, I'm not Mia Yim.
God damn! You know, Blake, I'm honestly impressed. I really thought I'd be the first one to start throwing names around without any thought or process or anything. But I'm impressed with you. Apparently, nature brings out the best of Mr. Chadwick here.
I don't give a shit.
I like this new Blake.
I love this new Blake.
Basic. Well, you know why I don't give a shit? Because she dates that fat fuck Keith Lee.
Sweet. Wait, what? Were they dating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't fucking know that.
Why would you know that?
For a long time.
You avoid wrestling like the plague.
I really do. There, you're right. I should not be surprised. I don't.
Marco's suddenly shocked that he doesn't know who dates in wrestling.
Right.
To be fair, the only reason I knew who Keith Lee is because Blake hates him so fucking much. He's the best Barrington. He's the best version of a Barrington.
Doesn't your wife watch NXT?
No. Listen. There's not much that's going to get us in a marital argument more than fucking wrestling at this point, because like the mother-in-law will put it on and then start overreacting to it, and I'll be like, "What were you fucking expecting? It's all fake." But how can they land like that and not get hurt? And I'm like, well, you're literally talking to somebody who did it for 15 fucking years. Trust me, they're having fun right now. It's okay. The only regret they have is they're stupid because they're wrestling in front of nobody and their paychecks probably suck. Probably. I can only imagine.
I feel like we're at the beginning of a promo.
Well, I don't really want to get into it. I think my views and really diving into wrestling should be like its own separate thing, because once I get going, God only knows when I'll stop, and we're already an hour or something, and I don't want this turning like a 4-hour affair where at the end of it I've got to go to.
Yeah, I've been on this for an hour and 3 minutes.
Hey, see, fucking, we have walked Boca with Blake.
Blake's the guest that won't leave.
I know.
Now I'm actually in Deerfield.
This is crazy. We took so long to get him on the podcast.
He's crossed city lines.
He's gonna be in
Oh no! And right as I'm getting to the point of the bridge, the goddamn bridge is going up.
That's a sign, buddy.
To turn around and go back.
That's a sign. Go back, smoke a bowl.
I'm not sure where he's going. Like,
I do have the pen.
The pen is the best. The pen is the best.
I mean, are you just wandering and then you're just going to Uber home, or do you have a plan?
No, I'm just cruising.
Just planned route.
I mean, at this point, I'm probably, let's see here. Let's get the official distance from home.
You get in a sweet Tinder tan while you're out there?
Oh, you know it.
Good sir.
He's just trying to get more exercise than Anthony gets in a week.
That's not hard. He stood up.
It says I'm that's funny. It says I'm 2.5 miles from home, which would put me right at about 8.5.
8.5 miles? Oh my God. Ugh.
We keep thinking about bothering you when we're in Boca.
Like the fact that y'all are in Boca and don't bother me is a little sad.
Well, we're working.
Well, now that I know that, Blake.
Well, right, but like I could be like I could do a drive-by. I could be someone that you don't really know and ends up like coming by.
Blake, I want you to know that if we call you out on this and you no-show, I'll never let you live it down. Now that you just said what you just said and it's recorded, if we call you out next week or some shit,
maybe I wanted to bring Chadwicking back.
God damn it, we were doing so well.
For all those that don't know what that means, when you get Chadwicked, it's when Blake says he's going to meet you somewhere and then never shows up.
Yep. Yeah, but he's doing enough where it became a term. So it used to be enough where we only invited him just out of courtesy, knowing he wasn't going to show up.
I feel like it happened like twice.
No,
like twice,
buddy.
Oh my goodness,
like twice in a small period,
buddy.
Blake. You think what you need to think. Just know the truth. It's a little hurtful.
It lies somewhere in the middle there.
A little hurtful.
Yeah,
but it's okay. We love you anyway, just the same.
We got a little yacht ski coming through here.
It was enough that when you did show up for things, everyone would make a big loud sound of surprise.
It's like
surprise
a big
amusement.
pop when I show up.
Yeah, it was. So
listen,
it's
brother.
like 3, 2, 1. Who's it gonna be? And it's like, holy shit, my music hits.
And you're always listen. Whenever you show up, you're an attraction, sir. It's always a good moment to have Blake in our lives.
Thank you, Marco. That means a lot. I mean, listen, I would like to listen. Maybe we can do a little like pre-show for Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
What's Double or Nothing?
You're gonna get angry.
Oh, okay.
It's AEW pay-per-view.
Is it tomorrow?
No.
Oh.
It's when is it? Is it next week?
It's the 23rd. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because the UFC pay-per-views tonight.
That's today.
And I keep flip-flopping if
That
I'm going to pay for it.
the one guy tested positive.
Yeah,
Jacare.
I keep flip-flopping if I want to pay for it because I love fighting and it's been so long, but I'm just like, I don't know.
They should to me they should make it like half price or something.
They really should do something, or put everything. I
think they just assume that everyone's so hungry for some live sporting event.
Which I get that angle as well, but at the same time, part of me's like, well, why don't you just because to me, like I'm a casual fan.
Yeah.
Like I'm not necessarily gonna buy it anyway.
Yeah, you're not spending $63, but if they're like, hey man, $40 for this show.
Yeah,
like
$40 like a WWE.
I'm shocked that
at
ESPN or CBS or ABC or ESPN didn't just pay Dana enough to just make it
ESPN Plus.
Not even on the app, just on their channel.
I feel you at least have to make it on the app.
It's available on Plus.
Yeah, ESPN Plus.
Because Saturday night. What does ABC or ESPN have to show right now? Nothing.
Like typically right now,
to pay
it would be the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, so to pay to have that on their channel might be
you
worth
would almost
it.
definitely have NBA playoffs on ESPN or ABC Saturday night right now if this was a normal time.
And instead LeBron's
and NHL on NBC.
And instead LeBron's at home looking like fucking Kembo Slice.
But the idea is, if you put it on regular ESPN, you would have so many eyes on it that you would probably get some signups for the next pay-per-view or whatever.
Well, I kind of think you at least have to do it on the first payroll. You at least have to make it because ESPN Plus is only like $4 a fucking week. I mean a month. It's only like $4 a month. Yes.
Oh, I thought it was 10.
No, it's $4.99. I thought. Did they raise it?
No, I don't know.
I only pay. I think pay $4.99. It's like the first 30 days is free. So like that's a good gimmick to get people in the door because you'll have a bunch of signups and people forget they have it and it'll get charged a few months before.
I'm still maintaining you should have it for free and then
get
some people fans of the.
Well, we could. We all know that Tua's wearing number 1. They've stretched that out for a fucking week on radio.
Speaking of which, did you see his brother's transferring?
I don't care enough about the fucking Tagovailoa family to even pay attention to that. No.
He's leaving Alabama.
Oh shit!
There are some rumors that he could be a Hurricane.
Oh shit!
To the brothers in Miami, huh?
Yeah.
It only works if they both win. There's no money in them coming to Miami to lose.
Speaking of eyes on, Marco, I already know your answer. Ben, are you going to watch tomorrow?
Tomorrow? Oh, is tomorrow Monday in the Bank?
I was going to say, I guess you just answered my own question.
I'm going to say I haven't watched any WWE product for about 6 weeks.
Probably since what, Mania?
I mean, I've watched I'll say since Mania, I've watched probably like 2 or 3 SmackDowns and Raws. And last night or yesterday I watched the most recent NXT.
Right.
And it was
just you saw Cross?
Yeah, because I wanted to see that, and I wanted to see the Charlotte EO match, and that product's just so dry the way they present it, and just I fast forwarded through a bunch of it. I don't understand why they're calling him Karrion Kross. I know that they
supposedly that was his choice.
Is it?
He picked that.
It's a terrible word. I mean, it
means something. It means killer or something.
No, carrion I thought meant like carrion or like vultures and stuff like that. They're like I thought they were. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. What is that noise?
That's the bridge going up.
Oh my god!
I'm allowed to walk again.
Oh my god! The bridge is going down. That's a lot. That's a lot of noise. I thought it meant something having to do with like scavengers and eaters of the dead or something like that.
It could. It very well could.
Yeah, I just think Killer Cross works so much better.
No, I agree. That would definitely be a lot better. The pay-per-view should be interesting. I'm looking very much forward to the 2 Money in the Bank matches. They're supposedly going on simultaneously.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll watch it. I don't know that I have a ton of interest because
I'm kind of feeling Aleister Black wins the men's.
I don't even know who's in them.
AJ's back. He's in it.
They should just put him all the way through. They
AJ and Galloway in a top program would be pretty great.
Yeah. I think they just miss him. I feel like they feel like he's been off TV the whole time he was with his boys. So now that he's back as a singles guy, Yeah,
I feel like they only want to do a certain amount with him when he's with his boys.
Yeah.
Like I think, to be honest with you, the whole 4-year run that they had was only just to keep them from other places.
Probably.
Like, just based on the way they were booked, like, they clearly never actually got behind them. Like, they won a couple of tag titles, but, like, they were never actually pushed.
Except then they offered him another big, deal.
Right.
Which
like, they were quasi-pushed. There was, like, 2 or 3 occasions where there was, like, a 2 or 3 month period where they kind of put him in, like, the main event mix. Like, they had him feuding with, like recently. Like, they were, like, feuding with Taker on Raw. But then that's, like, all they do.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who's in these Money in the Bank matches, but I'm
trying to think who else is in there besides Black and AJ.
Yeah, see, you don't even know. And
that's the thing. It's like I've been watching, but it's like I've been like half-ass paying attention because it's just like it almost feels like studio wrestling.
Yeah.
Like it feels like I know whatever I see on TV, there's no sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to see any big surprise. You're not going to see any big reveal. Like, AEW might do it. AEW's shown that they'll still do, like, big stuff. But, like, WWE, like, everything they're doing is basically they're just biding time to get to the next event.
Right.
Like you could tell they're pretty much just doing whatever they got to do to get to the point where they can have regular shows again.
Yeah. I feel bad for all the people that have the titles right now. They're, like, totally forgotten. A year from now,
On WWE, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the tag title situation, like they put them on the New Day. Like, I don't really know why they're,
But I'm saying, like,
Miz and Morrison. Like
Drew McIntyre, it's just like, is anyone going to remember anything he did during this whole period?
I feel like he's going to end up holding the title for a long time just because they want to establish him as the champion.
Oh, let's hope so.
Like, I feel like if Drew McIntyre is the only WWE champion for the rest of 2020, I wouldn't be shocked.
I'm looking over at Marco. He is totally tuned out. He's picked his phone up. He's been.
I was literally guessing Marco's not paying attention.
I also think wrestling is happening tomorrow.
And now he put his.
But here's the thing. In all fairness, if we actually sat Marco down and some of this stuff, like, he wouldn't hate all of it.
Here's the problem, Blake. Here's the issue that I've come across, and Ben will know because he saw it sometime this week.
Like earlier. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, I don't think you would hate.
Here's the problem. I don't hate wrestling. I actually love wrestling. Being in the ring was is just some of the best stuff you could do with your life. That kind of draw. Blake, you know what it's like to be in front of a live crowd, in front of people.
It's a goddamn drug.
The problem is, the locker room is littered with people that I'd like to drown in lava. And until that ever changes, and in South Florida never will, it's better. It's better just to believe the wrestling business just doesn't exist. And to be honest with you, I have zero. Here's one thing that I will not. I will 100% defend this statement forever and ever. Wrestling in front of nobody is fucking retarded. I said it once, I said it 1,000 times, and every now and then my mother-in-law will put on the fucking TV with wrestling in front of nobody, and I go, they're just collecting a paycheck. They wish they were anywhere else other than being in a ring in front of nobody, because that's fucking stupid. I understand that apparently AEW is God's gift to wrestling, but...
No, AEW in front of no fans, Marco, has been surprisingly effective. Wrestling in front of no fans is largely terrible. WWE's product has been, severely hampered by no fans there. But AEW, I mean, I don't know if you've seen it. I mean, they put the boys around the ring, and they have some extra guys in there. Like you had a Jason Cade, you had a Mike Reed.
You get some crowd noise, and makes all the difference.
Semblance of activity, and like MJF, chanting "one more time" at Nyla Rose. I mean, shit like that's hilarious.
I mean, I guess if I were to watch it, I'd understand more.
The AEW, first of all, WWE came off shooting empty chairs. AEW shoots the entrance and changes the way that everyone's doing it now.
Yeah.
So they showed how to shoot it effectively.
Yeah.
And it feels like we watched wrestling when we were young. Like it has that like smaller studio kind of feel to it in a way.
I mean, I've yet to ever watch. The only AEW I've ever seen was the first pay-per-view that they did. And that was.
Yeah, you didn't come over when Ben and I watched the pay-per-view.
No. Because wasting. Man, I don't want to say wasted my time, but wasting my time watching fucking guys that came up around the time I came up do what I wish I was doing. It just irritates me at a level I can't explain. So
no, I mean you don't have to explain it because I mean others might not get it, but I definitely get it. That's why I don't go to other shows.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, man, that was amazing, wasn't it? And I'm like, yeah, that was fucking great. But don't show me that ever again because that should have been me. And I know it's stupid to say that in the conversation and to why all that's dumb is I understand all of it and no one has to explain it to me. The fact is the fact, and the fact is I watch it, my blood boils, and I wish I was anywhere else. Which is why, like, the last time the wife took me to an NXT show and was like, that's great, and, like, 3 people who knew who I was when I was leaving the building were like, man, I can't wait to see you out there. And I'm like, go play in traffic, you fuckface. Like, yeah, remind me of all the fucking areas of my life that I should have improved at the time that I should have improved them to not be where I'm at. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I needed a reason to drink tonight. Like
Marco, I will say one of your best matches that I've ever seen you have, which is probably also one of your best matches in general, against I can only think of his Trent Beretta.
Yeah.
He's killing it in AEW. He's doing great.
Thank you. I'm gonna go drop some acid tonight and fight some fucking street dogs.
Yeah. He's someone that's worth watching.
No. There's plenty of good wrestling, I'm sure. I'm not denying that AEW has brought back a portion of the business that the WWE fucking 100% lacks. And I'm not denying it's not good and they haven't made the best deal. I'm not denying any of that stuff or your guys' general excitement to watch wrestling. It's just when I watch wrestling, I don't and can't watch it like everyone else does. And it really makes me mad. And you understand, and I know Ben understands, even though he's still he has the natural inclination to needle from time to time.
Oh, you want to hear something funny that I totally forgot to mention?
What?
So there's a girl that I matched with and have talked to. She actually but she randomly was following me on Instagram for a while. So that's how I initially saw her. But I matched with her on Tinder. But she's the ex-girlfriend of Cha Cha Charlie. I just thought that was really funny.
That is such a random thing.
Right.
That is random.
Like one of my pastimes when it comes to apps, finding people in my building and finding people from wrestling.
Oh my goodness.
And it doesn't sound like you have a hard time finding them.
No, I'll tell you, from my building between Bumble and Tinder, I'd say we're in the 6 to 8 range.
That's a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't wait for the day it comes when Blake comes to us on the threads like, guys, I've ran out of people in my building to fuck.
Well, I don't think he fucks all the people in his building. I think he.
I've only hit 2. I think.
Yeah, only 2.
Only 2.
Only 2.
Only 2. Something about the don't shit where you eat phrase. Blake never learned.
Well, that's why he's only done 2.
Oh, okay.
Marco.
All right, he's just being careful.
Yeah, and one of them was the friend of a resident who was there every day and doesn't live there anymore.
It's strategic. He's being very strategic.
Wait, your rent's out next month? Hey, do I have an offer for you? You're going to be gone in 30 days. Well, good for you, buddy.
I do have one scenario, though. There's this girl that lives on my floor, former FAU dancer, She's currently a semifinalist in the Dolphins cheerleading for like the cheerleaders this year.
Holy shit!
She's like super hot. I mean, like unreal. But she's also like really nice. Like she's not a bitch. Like she's not what you would expect that person to be. But she's like has a boyfriend, and I feel like a total like Urkel and Lisa thing. like talks to me all the time, but it's like I got nothing.
Right.
And it's like, you know, it's almost like I'm just waiting in the wings for like whenever the day comes.
You're the ducky.
Yeah.
You're the ducky, just hanging around waiting.
I feel very Screech and Lisa here.
Yeah. Well, I don't. So what do? You just you.
I just wait it out.
Yeah. That's funny.
I just keep like being nice and doing what I got to do to quasi put in work and
just in case there's an opening. Not
listen,
even guaranteed.
She's a little younger. The boyfriend obviously could easily make some missteps as someone a little younger.
Right.
He's actually not a bad guy. He lives in the building too. But
I was about to say Blake hasn't started orchestrating some elevator failures or anything.
Oh wow! Look at this. A Mercedes CLK with a blown out tire. It's like a Marco wet dream.
Listen, man, Mercedes are really nice vehicles. I love driving one for work.
You can rail on the BMW, but be nice to the Mercedes.
I have no negative experiences with Mercedes. I have very limited negative experiences with like Lexus or Jaguars or anything like that.
He's just very judgmental of the people that drive these
BMWs,
things.
However, should burn in the deepest, darkest levels of hell.
Well, your long-standing disdain of BMW is documented.
Yeah, although I will say the BMW is a very wonderful vehicle to drive. It's just that the person behind the wheel is usually an incompetent fool. Usually. Present company excluded. I know Blake had a BMW for a while.
No, I have a Mercedes.
I know you have a Mercedes now.
I've never had a BMW.
You never had you've always driven a Mercedes?
I've only had one of those. I've had one.
All right.
The same car. The only time I've ever had one of those types of cars is the same one.
Blake, have you ever driven a car that's worth less than $40,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, the car I had before was a Sonata.
Oh, okay. All right.
And the car I had before that was a Sonata, and the car I had before that was a Camry.
Marco's very confused.
No,
I literally have had one nice car.
No,
I don't even own it.
I'm not. No, listen. I make fun. I make fun of Blake's privilege, but I don't in a fun way, not in a.
No, I meant you thought he.
I love how he says my privilege.
You thought he had a BMW. I'm just saying.
I did think he had a BMW. Yeah. I don't know why I thought that though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just assumed Boca, Blake. It just like most people who live in Boca have BMWs, or a higher end car than that. But Mercedes is a nice vehicle. We drive them at work, and they seem great. I just, I'm half redneck, so I'm like a Ford Chevy guy, or.
I was just gonna say Marco's built Ford tough.
Yeah, that's pretty much my Explorer out there. Gives me away. It's funny. We're trying to we're still finishing up this podcast. I'm trying to I'm in the current status of trying to get an apartment in the same building as the Breakfast Club studios.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Oh yeah, that's breaking news right now. I'm trying.
You want to talk about a show?
Blake and Ben and I are going to be holding hands.
There's supposedly
touching fingers.
Supposedly, there's an apartment diagonally across the hall from mine.
That's unreal.
It's not. It's not listed, but he should go talk to them about it because I would love to pull the Kramer entrance all the time on him.
Oh, and you got to film that regularly.
I know the wife. The wife will not appreciate it, but
she will absolutely hate that.
But he can always do it in my apartment.
She's already voiced her displeasure about us living so close together, and which I told her happened to be a grown-ass man who can manage his own life.
The funny part about it is I feel like most of the disdain was for Huss.
No, there's no disdain at anybody. She's just like she makes the joke, and she's just like, "Is there going to be any point of your day where you and Ben are not around each other?" And I was like, "Listen, what are you trying to say here, okay?"
Dude, we've worked together for 5 fucking weeks.
Yeah.
It's not like we've been spending years attached at the hip.
Like, "Will you work together?" I'm like, "I got him the job." Like, I was like, it was a purposeful help my friend out get a job that we had spoken about several times.
Right.
You know, it's not like we're just following each other around like fucking, helpless, like fucking weirdos or nothing. No, it's just we've just happened to be in the same. What the fuck? She's like, all right, well, it's like I just don't think I'll ever see you. And I'm like, what do you mean you never see me? We work different schedules. You're never gonna see me anyway.
By the way, minutes before you guys called, you missed some major mask angst.
Really?
Oh yeah, because I had to stop in Vitamin Shop, and there's like the big to do about the mask. Like I had to put it on before I went in.
Oh Jesus.
I had that when I had to go make a call at Extra Space Storage, and you have to go and get them to sign off on some paperwork, and he wouldn't let me in the door. I had to tell him what I wanted at the doorway. I had a mask on and everything, and he was like, "All right, we'll go ahead and do it, and then I'll sign it when you come back," and never let me in. Even though it's like I don't know if they handle all business like that or what, but
it could have been some Ben bias.
It might have been, but I don't know. Like if I was looking to rent a space, I felt like it was going to be the same deal.
Right.
So, yeah, that was weird. And then he, I was going to try and almost do the gotcha when he grabbed my pen to sign it, but he brought his own, so I couldn't even play the gotcha game. Like, aha, see, you're not.
Be like, yeah, it's all for naught because you just touched the pen.
Right. That I licked.
No. You've been corona'd.
Fuck it. All right, Blake. We're gonna wrap you up because I've got one on deck.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no.
And I don't want to shit my pants here while we're podcasting.
It'd be for more interesting podcasts.
But this was a good talk, man. Now I know. Listen, I feel like the restraints have been taken off of Blake Chadwick here.
Good. I like this.
Don't get too comfortable.
No. But I definitely.
There's a lot of burials that aren't coming. Don't worry.
Oh, that's fine. But it's nice to see you're this salty.
Yeah, it's been building.
Listen. I'm out in the heat. There's some salt forming.
Yeah, he's out in the heat, and he's got some heat to throw, buddy.
He's throwing heat.
He's throwing some heat around. All right, Blake. Well, you have yourself a fantastic rest of your walk.
You two gentlemen, and
we ain't walking nowhere.
Soon.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Peace.
All right, guys.
Man,
did he hang up?
He didn't hang up.
See?
He was waiting. He's like, all right, let's hear it.
Well, the funny thing was that he wouldn't have gotten away with it because we would have heard the traffic whizzing by.
Yeah.
He couldn't have been that quiet. So
good try, though, buddy. Good try.
I do what I can. I do what I can.
All right, brother.
He hung up now.
He finally hung up. Hold on, wait a second. Did he?
No, he did. I could see because the phone went to.
Oh, all right.
With the screen.
Blake coming with the fire today, man.
Oh my God! Hold on. The other reason I want to get rid of him was we have to call Anthony.
Oh.
And not only tell him that Blake's on fire these days, but we need the update before next week's Furlough Files.
10-4.
And he might not answer because I don't. It's in the middle of his. He's still not. He's still furloughed technically.
Yeah.
So
there he is.
I wasn't sure if
I almost didn't answer.
We were just talking like he's probably not going to answer this phone.
I'm like
I'm at JoJo's house cooking.
Oh my God! See, that's why I wanted to call. First of all, we just spoke to Blake for like an hour and a half.
Blake threw some heat, Daddy.
He was throwing people under the. He was throwing people under the bus.
No, just whores.
About what?
Not
just
you.
whores.
Just.
Oh, I figured he listened to the last one and you heard me taking shots at him.
He did make a furlough file reference, but he.
We know he doesn't listen to the whole thing. Come on.
That's true. He might listen to this one because he's featured in it. So I wanted to actually do a teaser for next week's furlough file. There's been some breaking news in your situation.
There has, yeah.
Yeah, so you got the call.
Hold on. Let me get out of the noise here. It's Club Villanueva.
It's okay because talking to Blake while he was walking around Boca and Deerfield or Delray or wherever the hell he was, he was just all the noise going on. So this is
was it the protester yelling at her?
No, we did talk about that, but it was just the traffic and the sounds of the bridge raising and all kinds of craziness.
Okay. So I got the call. I'm going back to work, baby.
Yeah, that's right. Taking that pay cut, making less than you would if you were still furloughed.
Right, but here's the thing. I mean, I got to slow my eating down now. I'm not going to be able to eat all day. I'm not going to be able to watch Impractical Jokers 45 times a day. Like, this is really putting a cramp into my lifestyle that I've developed.
You'd accustomed an influencer style lifestyle.
This is
right.
This is divorce talk here, where you're a lifestyle you've become accustomed to.
Right. This is crazy that I have to go back now. Like, do I eat like a normal person? Like, lunch and dinner, that's it? Like, I don't know.
I think the first few days are going to be like getting thrown into a ice cold lake. You're just going to have to, it's going to be a shock to the system, and then you're going to have to adjust.
The worst part's going to be he's going to readjust back to work. The second wave's going to hit. He's going to be furloughed again.
You know what? I thought about that. That's the funny part.
Well,
it's a good thing that I have experience now. Because now I'm going. Other people are going to be like, "What do I do? I don't know what to do." I'm going to be like,
right back to TikTok.
Listen to the furlough files.
Right, that's a whole guideline of how to live the furlough life.
I should write a book.
See, when other people are trying to start TikTok accounts, you can be like, "Well, mine's already up and running," you know.
Right, I already got it. Yeah.
It's almost like you were on the footstep of something, and then your job took it away.
Right. I was so close. Like, I was there.
Speaking of JoJo, I know he was the one that sent you the video of the lizards fucking that we,
which has done great. I mean,
that we put on TikTok, and now this time around you sent me the video, and I found the music for it, and it's like at 29,000 views. So.
And the music is hilarious. And what's even better is the people that are commenting. It's great.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good one.
Look, you called me at the worst time. I am getting a call that I have to take.
Hey man, we just wanted to check in.
All right, goodbye.
Bye. Just do a teaser for next week because I don't want him talking about all of this here when he's got his own thing.
It is fantastic, though. It is fantastic. He's going back to work to make less than he was making by sitting at home while budgering a career as a professional influencer TikToker.
He said at first he thought he was taking a 25% pay cut, like that they were cutting everyone. But then he said that it was only like the first check was going to be a cut, and then he was back to regular pay. So he's not technically he's not making less than when he was furloughed. But being furloughed in Georgia, you make a shitload more than being furloughed in Florida.
Fuck yeah.
It was like $800, almost $900. It was like a $900 a week check. As opposed
to
2012,
Arkansas was almost $500, where Florida was like $225, $240.
Well, now they're only up to $275 a week.
Ooh, shit.
In Florida.
Ballin'.
Yeah.
And that's if you can get through. And if you get through and they actually pay attention.
Right.
And if you get through and they actually pay attention and send out the benefits afterwards.
Right, they say they qualify you.
I mean you got a better chance. You got a better chance of raising the dead than you do getting unemployment in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, or everybody I know got their stimulus check with me. I don't know what I have a feeling that when I sent the 2019 return, it raised so many red flags that they're not putting it through, and because they didn't put it through, that has my bank account information, whatever, they can't do the stimulus.
You get a Men in Black show up to your house.
Yeah, they could take 90% of zero is still zero, my friend.
Oh my goodness! Oh, what a day it's been, man! What a day it's been. And
I didn't even get to talk to you about all of your insane, illogical rage you've been experiencing in the driving around South Florida this week.
Yeah, but that's just
while I've been with you. I was planning to actually open a show with that, but I knew Blake was waiting because we said we were going to call him, and then we were late.
We can devote an entire episode to my road rage issues.
And
you're not wrong in any of your assessments. It's just who I am as a person.
I like when you're yelling at someone for something, and I explain why they're doing it and why it's so ridiculous that you're angry right now about it, and you're kind of like, why are you throwing these facts at me?
Let me have this. Facts don't mean shit around me. Nothing.
Fair enough.
My entire life is conjecture and nonsense.
Yeah.
All right? It's part of my charm.
You did enough this week on the podcast. You might be your entire life might change.
Oh, and do shit. I didn't even crack open the Pandora's box of that shit, okay?
It was a bit of a reveal that apparently your wife has so many issues with me for some reason.
No, she doesn't have any issues with you. I think she loves you, Ben. It's just
there's some kind of threatened thing here. I just think because you come over here for an hour and a half a
week, and then we work together.
Right.
We're actually, and in our current working situation, mostly because of the coronavirus, we travel in the same vehicle every day, and she thinks that's like a permanent thing. And I tried to explain to her.
But what's the difference?
Yeah, what is the difference? There's no difference.
What's the difference if I'm with you at work or you're still away at work?
It's all ridiculous. All of this.
I'm not taking you away from her.
No.
For work.
I can't quit you.
I got this. I'm just trying to figure it out, and it's making.
I'm almost thinking that we should have these weird glamour shots taken just to push it. Like the spoon picture.
We'll
and all
buy
that.
Matching sweaters.
Yeah, that's some Step Brothers shit right there, man. But life is stressful enough. I don't need to be pushing those buttons right now.
I'll push them in the truck on Monday.
Oh, yeah, you will, buddy. All right, so we may or may not watch fights tonight. I don't fucking know. And shit will happen next week. And you got the profile, the AJ, the furlough file explanation, all that nonsense. So I think we're good, man. Got anything else?
No, I got nothing.
Doot.